should you start a podcast or a live podcast? Meaning streaming live on platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and even LinkedIn. That's a huge question. And the results do vary whether you go live or you go pre-recorded. There's also ways to do both that we recommend so you can get the best of both worlds. So today, in this video, we're diving into live versus pre-recorded. And by the end of this, you're gonna know exactly which one is right for you. So let's get started. We do everything pre-recorded. I would say 98% though. I am experimenting with live, by the way. So every last Thursday, it's called the Last Thursday Q&A. I do that live on LinkedIn. And then the first Tuesday of the month, I do a LinkedIn Live with a guest. So that's 12 guests a year. So that means like my podcast doesn't turn into a guest podcast, but I also get the ability to influence or to invite and speak to people who have much bigger audiences, leverage their audience on top of my audience and kind of collaborate. And then I have this huge like 200 to 300 person email list from that. So pre-recorded is great. I would always start there. Don't put the pressure on yourself to do live, but just make sure you adapt to each. If it's pre-recorded, just know that everybody who's listening and watching is not all together, right? So you're talking to one person at a time. If it's live, you can address the plural, everybody, right? So it's just, there's nuances, but stick to pre-recorded. That's pretty much the standard. You could go really, really far with that. There are benefits to live, but it's also a logistical nightmare. So all of your lives should also be pre-recorded and post-produced. I have this camera over here, I have the side camera going, and I have this main camera, and I'm recording myself, and Steph's recording. This is gonna be put on my podcast, and all the clips from this are gonna be post-produced, and my team's gonna go cut them all up. So also with live, you get some of the benefits of both, so. Yeah, so this is all a relationship game, right? Like anything with content media and the marketing for your business and sales is all relationship based. When it comes to building strategic partnerships with people who have podcasts in your arena, you have to take that like you're gonna take any relationship or any sale. You have to go into it with no expectations. You have to say, hey, I noticed on your podcast you talked about X and Y. I actually talk about Z. So if you're looking to do an episode about Z, then I'm here. And if not, and you don't want to, or you think I'm crazy, or you don't like my hair, I don't know, people won't do it for all random weird reasons, then that's okay. And then, but if you build 10 to 20 of these relationships, as they see you releasing social media content about what you do, right, and you're becoming the go-to person, then people are gonna actually begin to ask you to be on their podcast. But it can all start with you building these strategic relationships with podcasters by just being normal. Just saying, hey, I would love to be, you don't even have to say I would love to be in the podcast. I would just say, if you need a guest that talks about this, that's what I do.